Water conservation is a priority in southern Nevada. Reduce your water footprint in 3 simple steps. Spring forward with seasonal watering restrictions, but don't water more than you need to. And find and fix the most common household leaks to avoid water waste. See all the ways to save here on Waterways. Mandatory watering restrictions can help us all water wisely, avoid overwatering, and reduce water waste. In spring, you may be inclined to water more as the temperatures warm, but you don't need to. Your landscape can survive on less. The key is to monitor your landscape regularly and fine-tune seasonal needs.
On average, Valley residents use about 60% of their water outside. That means outdoors is also where residents have the greatest potential to conserve water. One of the most effective ways to save water is to follow mandatory watering restrictions. In March and April, both sprinkler and drip watering are limited to 3 assigned days a week according to your watering group. Properties in groups A, C, and E can water on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Properties in groups B, D, and F can water on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Watering on Sunday is not permitted for any group. If you don't know your assigned watering days or group, simply look on your water bill, call your water provider, or visit snwa.com for help.
Turf watered by sprinklers and plants and trees watered by drip emitters have different needs. So let's first talk about sprinklers.
Check your irrigation clock first to ensure sprinklers are running only on your assigned spring days. Next, set your irrigation controller's start times to run sprinkler cycles in early morning. Water applied in the morning packs more of a punch since it won't evaporate under peak daytime temperatures or get swept away by afternoon winds. Another key to efficient lawn watering is spacing sprinkler cycles over a few hours to ensure your grass doesn't get more than it can possibly drink.
Jared, tell us why it's better to water your lawn with short sprinkler cycles.
It's great to run your sprinklers in short cycles, roughly for about 4-minute increments, and we actually call it the cycle and soak method. The reason why is that it lets the water run deep into the root zones, and it also avoids runoff. If the water runs from the grass into the street, you might be charged a water waste fee, and that would show up on your bill.
Many warm season grasses, such as Bermuda, can stay healthy with even less water. Think about testing this on your lawn. If you remove 1 minute from each of your 4-minute sprinkler cycles, you can reduce sprinkler watering by 25%. Water dry spots with a handheld hose and test sprinklers for a minute or two after every spring mowing. Look for misaligned sprinkler heads and replace broken parts promptly to avoid water waste.
Let's switch gears and talk about drip irrigation. Drip watering is needed less frequently, however you'll set it to run longer, typically 30 minutes or more each time.
That's because drip irrigation delivers water more slowly and deeply to a plant's root zone in gallons per hour rather than gallons per minute. Delivered properly, drip irrigation promotes deep roots that provide better anchoring and stability, protection from hot surface temperatures, and a greater amount of nutrients. Drip irrigation is permitted 3 days a week in spring, but established plants often do well with less.
Just because you're scheduled to water 3 times a week doesn't necessarily mean that you need to water your plants that many times. What you generally want to do is to monitor your plants and make sure that you transition them well. So for example, in the early spring you can water them once, and then eventually twice, and then eventually 3 times a week. That way you make sure that your plants are going to be growing correctly, and that when it warms up they have the correct amount of water.
Like sprinklers, you should routinely check your drip system to keep your landscape's lifeline in good working condition. Walk through your landscape monthly and look for broken lines or clogged emitter heads. Flush your drip line through the end cap in both spring and fall. If you've got some spring landscaping projects planned, the key is to think smart from the start. New desert-adapted plants will need extra watering as they get established, which is allowed for the first 30 days under watering restrictions. After that, it's time to cut back. For more spring watering tips, visit snwa.com.
If you're caught watering outside your assigned watering days, you could receive a water waste fine. SNWA member agencies conduct water waste investigations throughout the valley and cite water wasters. A property owner is given an opportunity to correct the problem, but if it continues, the property will be fined for wasting water. If you see water waste, report it immediately to your water provider. A smart irrigation controller can help to reduce water waste by helping you manage your outdoor water use. If you have an older irrigation controller, consider an upgrade. The SNWA offers a rebate for qualifying smart controllers, which use weather data to assess and apply water only as your landscape needs it. New smart controllers allow you to control your watering needs from the palm of your hand through mobile apps.
So you can do all of that activity right here from your phone. With a simple app, I can stand anywhere on my property or really anywhere in the world and tell my irrigation system to change its program, and all those changes would be reflected right here. So I can just choose a particular area, I can edit the program, I can choose the days of the week, what times to start. I can even put in pictures of the areas of my landscape so that I remember which zone connects with which portion of the landscaping. So this is all happening now for about $100, and with our Smart Controller rebate program, you'd get 50 of that back.
Visit snwa.com to learn more about Water Smart controllers and to print the coupon. Mandatory watering restrictions can help us all water wisely, avoid overwatering, and reduce water waste. In spring, you may be inclined to water more as the temperatures warm, but you don't need to. Your landscape can survive on less. The key is to monitor your landscape regularly and fine-tune seasonal needs.
Las Vegas is the driest city in the nation. We average a dismal 4 inches of rain a year and rely on the Colorado River for 90% of our water supply. The river system, however, is facing the worst drought in the basin's recorded history. As a result, Lake Mead's water level has dropped more than 130 feet since 2000. With a possible federally declared water shortage in 2020, water conservation is critical for the community. A majority of Southern Nevada's water is used outdoors, primarily on landscapes, and cannot be recycled and returned to Lake Mead. Reducing outdoor water use is an important conservation goal that will help protect Southern Nevada from shortage.
There are 3 steps you can take to cut your outdoor water use and make a positive impact on conservation efforts. Follow mandatory watering restrictions, report water waste, and remove useless grass. Doug, let's start with mandatory watering restrictions. Why is it so important to water only on your assigned watering days?
Well, first of all, it's important that people know that we created those restrictions around the needs of even a high water use landscape. So you can certainly keep your landscape healthy and still comply with the restrictions. What's cool about the restrictions is it seems like a fairly small and simple thing for people to do, change our clock 4 times a year. But if everybody gets on board, everyone in the valley complies with those restrictions, we're talking about saving billions of gallons of water every year.
Don't know which day you're supposed to water? We can help. Visit snwa.com and type your address where it says Find Your Watering Days and Group right on the homepage. You could incur a water waste fee if you're not following the mandatory watering restrictions.
Define water waste and what issues could result in a water waste fine.
Well, the most conspicuous type of water waste is allowing water to flow or spray off your property. So when you see water just flowing down the street, that's obviously not doing anyone any good. It's not helping a plant, simply throwing away a valuable resource. But the other ways that you can violate the water waste policy are by watering on a day that wasn't assigned to you. So remember, never on Sundays, and look up your watering schedule and know it. And also during the midsummer, we even have time of day restrictions. We don't want to run sprinkler systems in the heat of the day when that water is simply just evaporating before it can even reach the ground.
Water waste fees for SNWA member agencies start at $40 to $80 for most residential customers and double each month if the water waste continues. Properties with larger meters pay significantly more for wasting water. These charges appear on your water bill. If you're wasting water, fix it before you incur a water waste fee, and report water waste to your water provider when you see it. The biggest water guzzler is grass. If the only time you step on your grass is to mow it, take it out and receive a cash rebate when you replace it with WaterSmart landscaping. An average 1,000 square foot residential landscape conversion can save more than 50,000 gallons of water per year.
But when we do remote sensing, use aerial images to look around the valley, we suspect that there's still as much ornamental or non-functional turf in the valley as has been converted to WaterSmart landscaping. So we're about halfway through what we consider to be an important project. We've been doing this now 18 years, And so we're working with some of the customers that are most resistant to these types of changes, and it's important that they reevaluate what they're doing, reevaluate what their needs, how their needs might have changed. In some cases, people's lifestyle has changed, and they might be ready now to undertake these projects. And we're also offering the largest incentive we've ever offered. So we're trying to reach that remaining non-functional turf in the valley, things where people only get on it when they're pushing a lawnmower. We can't afford water for that.
Businesses and residents can apply for the SNWA's Water Smart Landscapes rebate online or by calling the Conservation Helpline. Once you've completed the application, the SNWA will review your lawn and conversion areas and answer any questions you may have. You must participate in a pre-conversion site visit before removing any grass.
If you don't have grass but you live in a community where there is useless grass, like this, ask your homeowners association to remove it and replace it with desert landscaping.
Many of us live in an HOA, and we know it can be a little bit complicated. So you have all these common areas. You got to work through a board. The board is trying to meet the needs of the residents and so forth. So it's not as simple as convincing a single-family household to change their landscaping. What we're doing is a lot of outreach. We're doing mailings. We're trying to get ourselves in front of those boards so we can explain to them what the options are, how we might be able to help, what the financial assistance that we can provide to their project is. And likewise in the business community is also hard to reach because in some cases a facility may not be controlled by the people inside that building. And so we have to go find parent companies and so forth. Same thing, we're trying to reach out to them, get an audience with them, and have a discussion with them.
The Water Authority has teamed up with the Las Vegas Lights Football Club to encourage the community, including residents, businesses, and HOAs, to remove grass that serves no purpose.
This isn't a field, this is useless. Now we can really play.
The SNWA will pay you to remove useless grass. Our Water Smart Landscapes rebate program offers $3 for every square foot of grass you replace with desert landscaping, up to 10,000 square feet. Beyond that, customers can earn $1.50 per square foot. Since the rebate program launched in 1999, the community has removed more than 188 million square feet of turf and conserved more than 119 billion gallons of water. Leaks, whether big or small, waste water. If your water bill has increased recently for no apparent reason, you may have a leak in your home or landscape. Put on your detective cap and track down the most common water wasters with these tips.
Many U.S. homes can waste on average more than 10,000 gallons of water to leaks each year. That's enough to fill a small swimming pool. Nationwide, household leaks can waste more than 1 trillion gallons of water annually, and that's enough to fill 40 million swimming pools and 24 billion baths. Closer to home, fixing your own leaks can make a big difference on your water bill while conserving our most precious resource. Common sources of indoor home leaks include worn toilet flappers and dripping faucets or shower heads. Most can be relatively easy and, yes, inexpensive to fix. To help get you started, the SNWA offers a free indoor water audit and retrofit kit. With the kit, you can test the water efficiency of your home and upgrade some of your fixtures.
So the indoor audit and retrofit kit serves two purposes. It has several items that you can change in your house that actually are more efficient to help you save water. And then it also provides a couple of tools to find leaks inside the house. So together, it kind of gives you opportunities to save around the house. So some examples of things that are included are a shower head that is a low flow shower head. So it's a higher efficiency shower head, performs like your normal shower heads, but uses less water. Then we also have things like a flow bag, which actually you can go around the house and test the flow of the different devices, like your aerators, your shower aerators. We give a couple of sample aerators. There's dye tablets to see if you have leaks in your toilet. So there's a lot of items in this little kit that gives you the opportunity to save water around your house. We provide these kits, one free to every property in the valley. You just have to call 258-SAVE or visit snwa.com and request the audit kit, and we'll mail it to you.
Believe it or not, the toilets in your home consume more water than your faucets and showers, especially older models. If you have a leaky toilet, or maybe you're hearing the dreaded phantom flush, that's even more water down the drain. To test your toilet for a leak, first, just listen. If it's running nonstop, you have a leak. If you're still not sure whether you have a leak, use the leak detection dye tablets from the SNWA's Indoor Water Audit and Retrofit Kit. The water's color will change to blue if you have a leak. Most likely, the culprit is a worn toilet flapper. Most flappers degrade after a few years and no longer seal tightly at that point, so leaks occur. Luckily, flappers are inexpensive and easy to replace. Better yet, leaky toilet flappers could soon become a thing of the past. That's because flapperless toilets are replacing conventional flush systems. These toilets are ultra efficient and can minimize leaks, ultimately helping to conserve water. Now what about a leaky faucet? A faucet that loses just one drip per second can waste more than 3,000 gallons per year. That's enough water to take more than 180 showers. Fix leaky faucets by checking faucet washers and gaskets for wear and replacing them if necessary. Don't overlook your shower head. A shower head that leaks 10 drips per minute wastes more than 500 gallons per year. You could wash 60 loads of dishes in your dishwasher with that amount of water. You can help create a tighter connection between the shower head and the pipe stem with pipe thread seal tape, also known as Teflon tape. If that doesn't stop the leak and the repair looks more complicated, you may want to call a licensed plumber. If you find that repairs aren't enough to stop the leaks you've found, it might be time to replace your fixtures. Look for the WaterSense label when you shop for new products to increase your home's efficiency. WaterSense labeled items are widely available at retailers, have been tested to perform at 20% higher water efficiency than average products, and provide measurable savings. And yes, they'll still get you, your clothes, and your dishes clean. So what if I suspect I have a leak, but I haven't been able to find it yet?
The first thing you want to do is make sure that everything that uses water in the house is turned off. So you want to have your irrigation off. You want to have dishwashers, washing machines, everything that uses water, not using water, so shut it off. Then you want to come out and you want to come to the meter. And so if you look at the meter down here, there's two dials. The big dial is thousands of gallons, and so you're not going to see that turning unless you just have a massive leak, but usually that's not what you see. It's the little dial, which is a triangle or a little star. If everything is turned off inside and you see that little dial still turning a little bit, that means you have a leak somewhere. And then you have to go through a process of elimination to decide, is it inside or outside? Could be both, but hopefully it's not. It's one or the other. And so we'll walk around and we'll turn the irrigation system on the outside off, and then you can kind of go inside and see if there's anything inside that may be the cause of that.
Outdoors, your irrigation system is susceptible to leaks that can waste far larger volumes of water than, say, a leaky indoor faucet. That's why regular checks are vital. Systems are subject to frequent use and high temperatures in summer, along with an occasional freeze in winter. Both extremes, along with wear and tear, can lead to cracks and breaks in both pipes and drip lines, as well as broken sprinklers and emitters. To determine whether you have a leak in your landscape, turn your irrigation clock to the manual setting and run each line or station on your system for 1 to 2 minutes. Walk through your landscape. A visual inspection should turn up obvious breaks. Check your valve box as well to ensure the valves aren't leaking. If you can't find the source of the leak but find soggy grass, damp planted areas, or puddles of water, you may have a larger problem, an underground leak.
So through the process of elimination, by turning the backflow off and the irrigation, we think we've eliminated the outside. We've gone around inside, we haven't found anything. So really the next step is possibly a mainline leak or something that's underground. And for that, you really want to hire a professional. They can come out, they can kind of determine, they usually can find it, they have tools to do that. And so, somebody you want to hire to bring a professional to take care of it.
Repairing water damage caused by leaks can cost thousands of dollars for homeowners. Thanks to new, smart leak detection devices, you can prevent or mitigate water damage at your home using a smartphone app.
So leak detection devices is kind of the new technology that we're really excited about. It will help address water loss or water damage caused by leaks, which can kind of be a big issue for homeowners. And so these new devices basically will strap on to your water lines in your house, and then they will communicate to the customer through their phone. There are two types of devices, basically. One will strap on to your water line. Sometimes they go onto your meter or just onto a pipe. So you can monitor your water use. If you have a leak, you get notified. But in order to turn your water off, if you have to, you would have to come to the meter and do a turn off yourself. The other type of device, actually, you cut pipe and you install it. It also gives you information about consumption and how much you're using, but then if you have a catastrophic leak or for some need you need to turn it off, through your phone you can actually turn it off. They cost a little bit more money, they're a little more involved to install, but it actually gives you a little more protection. So there's kind of two basic types of devices that are out there, and we'll rebate both of those through our programs.
The SNWA offers a rebate of 50% of the purchase price, or $200, whichever is less. To receive the rebate, you must agree to allow SNWA to periodically conduct research through phone calls, surveys, or monitoring of water use to determine the long-term benefits of various water-smart technologies. For program details, visit snwa.com. When you turn on the tap, you expect the water to flow, but there's a lot of work behind the scenes to make that happen. Water embarks on an incredible journey before it reaches your faucet with help from municipal water agencies.
Nearly 90% of southern Nevada's drinking water begins as snow or rain in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado. After the snow melts and drains into the river, the water travels hundreds of miles before reaching Lake Mead. The Southern Nevada Water Authority draws and pumps this water to its state-of-the-art water treatment facilities. Following treatment that ensures water meets all state and federal Safe Drinking Water Act standards, water flows through an intricate network of pipes, pumps, and reservoirs before reaching its final destination, your home. As a regional agency, the Water Authority secures long-term water resources and oversees conservation planning. The Water Authority also provides water treatment and wholesale delivery for Southern Nevada, delivering treated drinking water from Lake Mead to area water providers, who then deliver water to you, the customer. SNWA helps to ensure safe and reliable water delivery by operating two of the nation's most advanced water treatment facilities, River Mountains and Alfred Merritt Smith. Water quality starts at Lake Mead, the largest man-made reservoir in the nation. Spanning nearly 250 square miles, Lake Mead is also impressively deep. The Water Authority's third intake plumbs these depths to draw the freshest, purest water. The third intake is designed to maintain access to our community's primary water supply, even as lake levels continue to decline.
The third intake extends into the lowest portions of Lake Mead, ensuring that we have access to our water even though the lake levels continue to decline. Now, the deeper water is easier to treat, easier to disinfect, and provides higher quality water to our customers. The pumping station, currently under construction, will work in tandem with the third intake to provide quality water to over 2 million Valley residents.
When the pumping station is completed in 2020, SNWA will have the ability to draw water from the lake, even if lake levels drop too low. Provides an effective disinfectant that destroys bacteria and waterborne pathogens. The next step in treatment is multi-stage filtration, which includes a step known as flocculation. Particles in the water form clumps called floc. The floc is so small it can't be seen by the naked eye. Flocculated water passes through multiple filters that trap and remove these particles. Chlorine is then added to the water as it leaves the treatment facilities. Both chlorine and corrosion control efforts further protect the water as it journeys through the pipeline distribution system, sometimes 30 miles or more uphill, on its way to you.
Well, most of our water is delivered by gravity to our customers. This means that we use the natural principle of allowing the water to simply flow downhill. We locate our reservoirs farther uphill from the customers they serve, and thus, when that water just simply flows naturally out of the pipes, we get water to the tap. Also, providing the water uphill gives our customers the adequate tap pressure that they need.
Highly skilled operators guide water through a series of pumping facilities to move water to reservoirs and water tanks throughout the community. Reservoirs provide sufficient storage to meet our home and business water needs, as well as fire protection to support our community's first responders. The Las Vegas Valley Water District, the cities of North Las Vegas and Henderson, maintain more than 100 reservoir basins and tanks that collectively hold more than 1 billion gallons of water. The Las Vegas Valley Water District is building its first reservoir in 10 years.
Well, this reservoir is designed to meet the growing needs of Summerlin. We're about 33 miles as the crow flies from Lake Mead, where we get most of our water, and this will hold about 10 million gallons of water. It takes a lot of energy to pump that water up the hill from 33 miles away. We do that primarily in the evening hours. We don't have the constant droning of pumps, and it helps to reduce costs by using the energy during the evening when those costs are reduced.
To maintain water quality in the distribution system, operators and distribution personnel keep a watchful eye on flows, water levels, system pressures, and pumping activities. They work 24 hours a day, 365 days a year to monitor your water quality. Considering the important role that water plays in our daily lives, local water providers in Southern Nevada are committed to maintaining reliable water infrastructure that safely meets our community's water needs. By the time water reaches your tap, it's been treated and tested to the highest state and federal standards.
There are more ways to save, so join us next time here on Waterways. If you'd like to share your conservation efforts at home, contact us at Waterways, 1001 South Valley View Boulevard, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89153. Or send us an email through our website at snwa.com. We may feature your story. For more how-to videos and tips to conserve and care for our water, connect with us on social media. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again next time, right here on Waterways.
A plan of attack, like something that maybe the military would use?
It's a plan that my daughter uses to plan for her basketball games.
Strategic plan is how I get my wife and kids in an area that they don't want to be.
It's a document that's strategically done.
A strategic plan would be the implementation of a vision.
A strategic plan is a guiding, fluid document that helps the city plan for its future. The goals and objectives have been identified through community input.